They did this thing. You see it if you know something about the history of MK Ultra. It goes all the way back to these tests that they did in Nevada, Area 51. As a matter of fact, I remember reading about this guy. I feel like I'm a lot like him. I could have had the Joe Kennedy option, right? Joe Jr. But I didn't get Joe Jr. In some ways, I could have handled Joe Jr. I got everything I need to handle Joe Jr. Maybe if I could talk to my dad and be like, yo, you need to deal with that bond fraud. Be a lot different now. We wouldn't have had such a successive lineup of intentionally orchestrated murders of people that had a particular lineage so that they could be dispossessed from any sort of legitimate participation in certain positions of power in the United States in order to maintain hegemony of a specific kind of socio-ethnic experience of leadership. It's also predicated upon a particular kind of religious testing, right? I'm interested in that other testing, the testing they did at Area 51. You know, there's this story about this man who was a pilot. And out around there, what they did is they would detonate nuclear bombs to kind of test what the results would be. And so, occasionally, including in this case, there was a pilot who was ordered to fly through the center of the mushroom cloud. They wanted him to take off and to fly through the center of the mushroom cloud and then circle around and land. And there's all kinds of data they wanted to get. Well, something happened when he got up there and he flew through. And then he turned around and he flew back. And then he turned around and he flew through. And he turned around and he flew back. He did it more than once. He did it several times. I mean, the guy's got the plane. You ordered somebody to get in a plane and to do one time through the mushroom cloud and come back and land and give you all the data. And well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you know how it is. But he didn't just fly through. He flew through. He returned, came back, flew through, returned, came back. He's up there in the damn jet. It's a goddamn fucking mushroom cloud. What are you gonna do? You gonna shoot him down? Are you gonna shoot him down because you ordered him to fly through a fucking mushroom cloud? He flew through, flew back, flew through, flew back, flew through, flew back. What do you think makes a guy who's capable of being a fighter pilot do multiple returns and passes through a mushroom cloud? I mean, he only had to do it once. The likelihood that, he'll survive that kind of radiation exposure when subjected to the circumstances involving the detonation of a nuclear bomb would logically seem to be substantially higher if he just went through that one time, came back, landed, and just kept his mouth shut. What do you think happened? What kind of a person gets up there and is like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again and again and again. That's what he did. I believe it was his decision. I believe he got up there and something happened in his spirit. He's like, oh, fuck no. What did he see? What did he learn? You know, that guy actually ended up landing the plane. He flew back. He landed the plane. He got out of the plane. I think he probably lived for a substantial amount of time after that. Now, somehow the information got to me, right? I wasn't on any sort of back channels. I wasn't even in one of those, like, libraries where they got the big old huge reels of magnetic tape. You ever seen that? I don't think you're supposed to acknowledge you have if you have, right? I don't think that's what ended up happening with his life. Somehow the story got to me. It wasn't even through those means. It was just in a library book. I went to the library. It was right there in the book. I just found it in the library book. It's a true story. You know, it's part of our history. Some guy got in a fighter plane and flew through the middle of a mushroom cloud. Just flew back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What would you think about that? You're that fucking important. You know that? You are so important that you can tell somebody, you need to get in that jet and you need to go fly through the center of that mushroom cloud, and then you need to come and you need to land the plane. Don't ask any questions. We're not going to give you any more information than what you need to know. We're the ones in leadership. We've ordered you to get in that plane and go fly through a mushroom cloud. And then he gets up and he flies back, flies back. It's like, yeah! Oh, what do you think he said? You think he got, like, jackass about it? You think it was like, oh, I forgot that I was supposed to come back. Yeah, there was some radio interference. I'm sorry, the call didn't go through. I didn't get the email. You still want to be in leadership? There's something else I was going to say, but the truth of the matter is, I just think that that's really the story you really need to hear. I don't think you could do it. I don't think you would have the capacity to even operate the plane. But for some reason, you seem to think that you're entitled to all of the benefits that come from circumstances like that. See, it might be a lot easier on you if you could just have it done one time. And then you could get what you needed, and then you could just keep a lid on it. But the fact that guy just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like that. When are you done? It was a man-made, self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. You did not have fucking control. Oh! Damn! Man, that might be the most sabotory event that ever happened in the history of America. Did you think you could, do it yourself? Did you think you were that good? I don't think you are. I don't think you are. There's something else I was supposed to say. But this kind of came up instead. You know, it happens sometimes. I know what you had to say was really important, but, you know, something else came up. It's an emergency. Do you think it's an emergency that they would be ordering people to get in fighter jets and flying through the middle of a mushroom cloud? Or do you think that's special project? Right? Special order? We gave you a special order. You're special. You're the only one that got that kind of order. There wasn't a lot of people that got in fighter jets and flew through the center of a mushroom cloud. It's true. It's true.